gentlemen, we came here to make you move.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Stranger by the Hour, episode 166, coming at you February 7th.
Shabbat Shalom.
2026. And I was like, yeah, man, that's kind of funny. It's like, not only are we we're breaking the Sabbath, we're breaking Saturn's day, but it's also like episode 166. So that's 13 altogether. But yeah, man. So we haven't been at it for a while, and now we're back in there. Let me see here. This is a good time to just dive right back in, because what it would seem to be is that it's open knowledge now, or not open knowledge now, that pedophile demon worshipers.
Yeah. So the what was it, 4 million documents or something, that the recent tranche of Epstein files, right?
Yeah.
And so if you get on Twitter, it's just a constant steady drip of these incredibly insane, salacious emails that are like, some of them are redacted, you can't tell who it is, some of them you can tell who it is, some of it's vague, some of it's very explicit and specific. And what you come away, so here's the thing, we're being shown these messages.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have to decide, okay, are these messages real or not? So what are the likelihood of that? What do you think? You think that some of them are real, all of them are real? I'll before you answer, let me just pepper this in there.
Okay.
As of late, I've seen some pretty high profile people like Bill Gates's wife, some other, banker type guy, I can't remember his name, addressing the emails specifically and not denying that, and not saying those emails are fake. They're just giving rationalizations. They're like, look, that was about this. That was about X. I know that looks kind of bad, but X, Y, Z. So that's different than them saying that's not real.
Right. So
that's one piece of evidence. But go ahead. What do you think about the veracity of these?
So there is certainly the room for stuff to be fabricated in there in such a large body of documents. Like you and I would understand that would be a good place to pepper things if we wanted to sow some misinformation. Like a huge dump like that would be a good place to pepper that thing throughout. But the body of all of it is so horrific that what would it matter? What would you be peppering in there?
You mean the details, if this detail is accurate and this one's inaccurate, who cares, right?
It's so bad in entirety.
Yeah. But it's bad. So it's bad. So what I haven't seen yet, and if it existed, I'm sure it would be the thing everyone's talking about, is there's nothing in there that's so explicit that you're immediately like, you can go arrest somebody off of that. Or that warrants there's stuff in there that definitely warrants investigation, but I haven't seen anything that's so explicit and has enough information. There's always a little bit vague, like, who are they talking about? So
is it because that they allegedly, on behalf of the victims, and that's something I'd like to touch on, these fucking victims, is that you can't actually put out, I don't know why you couldn't, you can't put out a video of somebody eating a kid because
it's too horrifying, or the victim would be implicated. So that's the thing. There's allegedly tons of video stuff that's redacted for whatever reason, right? So who knows? But I'm talking about of the stuff that you're allowed to see, that you can see.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's all so I have no way to see it other than this is a conduit for some sort of misinformation. It has to be not, maybe that's not entirely what it is, but they're going to use this. Okay. It's not incidental, the timing of it coming out. They have control over all this shit.
Yeah.
This whole dog and pony show about Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna forced the government's hand and made them. They did. Okay. So so we're just watching a show, right? So
yeah, the whole government's fake except for this little process right here that actually works.
Yeah, and this government that has the power to do whatever it wants, basically start whole wars that we don't approve of, completely manipulate the entire global financial market, control the resources of the whole entire planet, play basically God on a global scale. I'm expected to believe that they don't have control over what documents exist or don't exist. Like they couldn't prune that in a way that does something very specific for them without implicating, of course. I think that it could serve this specific role. Like, okay, this stuff comes out and maybe there's going to be another dump after it or whatever. But what it's going to do is it's going to put out enough information so that everybody will know and accept that at the highest levels of everything, government, media, sports, celebrities, science, whatever, the upper echelons of all those different things are infested with these kind of people that have a completely inverted moral system, right? So that's going to be saturated in the public consciousness, and then the next thing is nothing's going to come of it. And then that's our collected tacit approval for that kind of behavior. Because I think what they want ultimately is for them to do whatever they want to do and not have to hide and sneak anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I concur. And that's what I was going to say is the truth is a weapon. And we talked about it a couple shows ago, I think, about taking a light into a dark corner, and if you find in that dark corner that there's a global pedophile ring, well, now there's that information. So I think it's source testing or it's gain of function testing. It's testing on the populace. Hey, how much can we actually get away with?
Yeah.
Because you're right. In the old days, the aristocracy, we just changed the name. We call them the billionaires now.
Yeah.
But it used to be the nobility, the aristocracy.
The nobility.
Call it whatever you want to call it. I mean, those people weren't beholden to what the fuck the peasants said.
No.
At all.
Now there was some degree of controlling how the peasantry thought of you, because there could be revolts, slave revolts. You could have, uprisings. There was some sort of management of public opinion, but what we're told is that these people, not the corporatists, but like the government type people, like ostensibly work for us. And that's the other thing that's become apparent is, forget all the sex stuff. Okay. Also embedded in these emails is all of this evidence that guys like Epstein are, he's on there having high level geopolitical conversations, talking about how they're going to manipulate this outcome or that outcome in elections and coups and all this other shit. And he's right in the mix with people in our government, people in the Western democracies. They're all in there doing things behind the scenes that are undemocratic.
Somebody synced it up, but there was a part where he was texting a lady that was part of a congressional hearing.
Okay.
Like, I forgot the lady's name, but she's looking down at her phone and somebody synced it with the Epstein text because like her name's in it. She's questioning somebody and he's like, hey, ask that guy this.
Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You have suggested you are going to review that. Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes.
Question, you helped out the president's campaign or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump organization?
They are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
Uh-huh. You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
Dude just like literally wagged the dog in the part where Dustin Hoffman asks, the producer asks the fixer, hey, how close are you to this? And they're watching the White House press guy. Yeah. And he's like, what do you want him to say? Hey, have him say this.
Dude.
And Anne Heche, who's dead as fuck right now.
Dead in a weird Operation Monarch way.
Yeah.
She tried to crawl up out of her fucking coffin.
Yeah, no, out of her body bag.
Yeah, out of her body. Dude, crazy.
Oh my gosh, he's completely alive.
Like she texts the guy and he says, and the press secretary says what he just fucking texted.
Yeah.
She just texted.
Yeah.
Epstein was doing that. And maybe that's a good segue into what I have pulled up. So I got a couple tabs pulled up here, and this will be a little bit of a ride, but let me just, you can pull up that very first, it goes from sequentially left to right there.
Okay.
So when we started looking into all this stuff heavily, right, I would say I was always aghast at what they said was the official story of history. Like when you look at a pyramid and shit like that, you and I have moved heavy stuff. You know, we've been on working parties where you got to move 1,000 sandbags or whatever. And, you know, and you look at the pyramid, you're like, nah, that didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So I was, 2016, after I left the Marines and started doing contracting where you had hours of your own free time at night in foreign countries.
Your man can, yeah.
Yes, we were. I think I really started like really deep diving, looking into shit, right? And I forgot what year I ran into Dan Peña. I think it was like 2017 or something like that. And for those of you that aren't, he's dead now.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, allegedly. Who the fuck knows if anybody's dead?
Yeah.
They could just leave.
They're all in Valhalla
or
Island.
Past the ice wall.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So Dan Peña, billionaire, right? And he was one of those dudes that likes to say the quiet part out loud, like a real rough and tumble, like in your face type dude.
Yeah.
And he would have his thing towards the end of his life was mentoring young men, and he just would tell them, hey, you're not successful because you're a cunt. You're fucking,
you're a pussy. Yeah, he's like,
yeah, you're not successful because you got no balls.
He's like the financial like David Goggins.
Yeah, basically, like David Goggins. Say what you will about him, but he will run your ass into the dirt.
He will run a lot.
Yeah, and it's it is what it is. Like, say what you want about Dan Peña, he will he's got the money.
Yeah,
So I started listening to his audiobook, and this is his audiobook. So this is the book Dan Peña wrote called Your First 100 Million.
Okay.
Where he talks about, going from a young kid in the barrio of Los Angeles to owning a castle in Scotland. And later on, he's wearing some pin that looks like he might be like a Knight of Malta or something like that.
Probably, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's got some Templar type iconography on his shit. But so at the same time I was listening to Dan Peña, I was really getting into Jordan Maxwell, like really going down the Jordan Maxwell hole. And every time Jordan would say some crazy shit, I'd be in my garage back in Wilmington. I would just pause it and I would research whatever crazy shit Jordan said, and like, fuck, man, there's like reams of information backing up whatever this crazy shit Jordan said. So during this portion of the book, he's already made a bunch of money. He's ran into a bunch of folks, and he's about to bump into what he refers to as one of his first mentors. He mentions 3 mentors that changed his life. One of them is the dude that came up with your comfort zone, the term your comfort zone.
Okay.
Just forgot the guy's name off the top of my head. What it's funny is because in some of the literature that talks about Dan Peña and the literature that talks about that guy who created the comfort zone term, they call themselves magicians, by the way.
Yeah.
It says magician.
Yeah.
But so in this portion of the book, and we can pause as he goes through it, he meets the guy who runs the Onassis family shipping and oil fortune. The Onassis family, Jackie Onassis,
Jackie O,
ancient
Greek shipping.
Yeah, ancient Greek shipping family.
Yeah.
So probably back to the fucking Peloponnesian War.
Right, yeah. Probably Phoenicians.
Yeah, probably Phoenicians, right? So we're just gonna talk about what he gets into with his first mentor, Costas. We'll get into the whole name, and we'll pause and talk about it shit as we go through here.
I did work out for a while, and we made a lot of money. It was during this period that I met a gentleman named Constantine Gratsos. Costa was in his 80s at the time, near the end of his life, spent as the chief lieutenant and confidant of a billionaire shipping legend, Aristotle Onassis. By the time I met Costa, his old friend had died, and from his suite of offices at the top of the 52nd floor of Olympic Towers in Manhattan, he oversaw the sprawling Onassis.
Olympic Towers is funny. A lot of these high-ranking people refer to themselves as the Olympics.
Oh, the Olympians, yeah, like the
Empire. Costa took a liking to me, and he became my mentor. He called me his oil expert, and whenever he needed to talk about shipping oil in his tankers anywhere in the world, he summoned me to his office. Through Costa, I found myself traveling the world negotiating oil deals with such figures as Emil DeMarcos in the Philippines, Baby Doc Duvalier in Haiti, and Chile's military strongman General Augusto Pinochet.
Yeah, Pinochet. Yeah,
All those people are dictators. They're all criminals.
yeah. There's a global elite. You know, these are just crime families that are.
Yeah, crime families.
Yeah,
Pinochet for sure.
yeah.
Whenever I was in Manhattan, I worked out of Christine Onassis' office in the towers. Author's note, she had a phone on her desk that had direct lines to the Vatican, the White House, amongst other luminaries, and I would push the buttons and
Amongst other what?
Yeah, luminaries. Yeah, for sure. And okay, and anyone listening to this, go ahead and keep voting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's got a phone on her desk to call the guy you ostensibly think you voted for.
The Vatican and the White House.
Yeah.
She's got a direct line.
Get him on a conference call and let's make a war.
It's like
happen.
Horseface Lady's character in Charlie Wilson's War.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, summon me the fucking covert action guy so I can fuck him in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And send him to go meet the Pakistani fucking president.
Exactly.
Yeah, and start a war.
pick up the phone, and when they'd answer, I'd hang up thinking that they'd know that I was me calling. End of author's note. This was all intoxicating experience for 35-year-old wise-assed oil industry novice. It also led to probably the most unlikely international adventure of my life, one which for years was closely held secret for reasons which will soon become apparent. Looking back to write about it so many years later, it almost seems like a dream or a late night B movie. To my family, it was a nightmare of apprehension, a living hell of dark plans and shadowy figures of which she only has frightening memories. Haiti was known to have oil deposits, but oil had never.
Here we go, fucking with Haiti.
Yeah.
Like
they got resources.
Stomping grounds of the Clinton Foundation. And anybody that wants to fuck with anybody, just we're gonna go. I think it's got iridium there too, doesn't it?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think it does.
Been produced there because of a lack of expertise and capital. Although Costa was negotiating with Duvalier for oil shipping rights, he detested Baby Doc tyranny and how he kept his nation impoverished while he moved tens of millions of dollars into his own Swiss private account.
Yeah.
Costa, in the finest Greek tradition, was a fierce believer in democracy. So in the early,
I don't know about that.
Well,
I mean, maybe Neoplatonism.
I mean, the Greeks
the benevolent ruler.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what kind of democracy you're talking about. Like a guy like him who believes in democracy because it's a great way to completely control the plebe class and mitigate them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
early 80, he decided simply to remove the Duvalier regime, although he
some dude
yeah.
from an office in fucking Manhattan.
Yeah, of course.
55th floor, 52nd floor, whatever, with numbers to the fuck.
Because
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking run a coup, dude. It's like the movie Dogs of War and the book Dogs of War.
It's like
boring as fuck.
The people I represent won't do business with a madman. He's obviously got to go. Could a well-trained, well-equipped mercenary force succeed?
Succeed? At what?
Replacing Kimber.
What you find over there? Oil? Diamonds?
Could it succeed?
Sure, why not?
How long would it take you to get an operation like that off the ground?
it's like it's obvious at this point that the governments are tools.
They're fake.
Yeah, well, they're real. They exist. Like they have buildings and shit, but they're a tool.
Yeah,
they're the front-facing office suite or whatever, and like customer support representatives for the corporation that you are 100,000% dependent on. That you will die if you don't maintain your access to their supply chains. You will die if you don't maintain access to their energy resources and supply chains. They own all of it. You own none of it. They have people in buildings and suits and shit that tell you that they're senator this or whatever that, but they're the employees of these people.
Yeah. That's a good Christopher Walken movie. He made the movie, or he was in the movie Dogs of War. The book is boring as fuck. It's how to run a coup. It's how
I saw that one.
It's
in Africa. They hatch the plot in like Amsterdam or something. It's like a mercenary movie.
Yeah, it's a French mercenary.
No, that's a good book. That book's good. That's
It's good it's better as a manual on how to run a coup than because the only action part is the very end.
Dude, it just made me think.
They're talking about how to get end user licenses and agreements for weapons and how to ship those weapons via
Yeah.
And how to train your mercenaries on the fucking deck of the boat while you're on the fucking way over there, dude.
Bro, there was a fucking heyday, dude. From the late 70s to the end of the 80s.
Yeah.
This is like the time of Executive Outcomes and the Rhodesian SAS and Soldier Fortune magazine. I was fucking obsessed with the idea of being like a South African mercenary, dude. Like I wanted nothing more than to like be in the Congo, dude. And then you learn about like the Selous Scouts and all these fucking gnarly South African just fucking war dogs, dude. That's a good era for like, and there's a vibe. There's a couple cool Instagram. I'm sorry to derail your thing.
No,
there's a couple cool Instagram accounts. If I can find them, I'll send them to you.
Okay.
And it's like merch and vibe, you know, military vibe shit, but the vibe is all Rhodesian SAS.
I think I've already followed them, dude. It's like an old school Browning pistol with a Hawaiian shirt and shit.
This shit is so dope, dude. And they'll show pictures of like Selous Scouts dudes or whatever with a ruck on. They look like they just got out of Auschwitz, but in reality, they just walked across Africa, like killing dudes on the way and eating monkeys and shit.
With a belt-fed machine gun.
Yeah, just
like shorts.
Those guys, they used to parachute into shit. Total like special ops shit. Like no shit. Here's your partner force of like guys that speak like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's your partner force now. You're going into the neighboring cross border shit with no gear. Figure it out, dude. And like, oh yeah, we're eating monkey brains for the next 2 weeks, guys. Let's get it going.
It's the movie Blood Diamond.
Yeah, Blood Diamond. Yeah,
which is
that's the
fucking movie.
We say Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Rhodesia. Okay. All right. So back to fucking around starting a coup.
Okay. Stated that thousands of people could be killed during the armed invasion. He calmly justified his idea with a rationale that usually began when human rights are at stake, sacrifices are required. Using his
That's Madeleine Albright, bro.
And
we got to kill 500,000 children,
dude.
Okay.
And so these guys are magicians. That's word magic. So that human rights spell fucking works on everybody. There's no such thing, dude. There's only the protections or lack thereof extended to you by the people that have a monopoly on force, the criminal organization that has a monopoly on force. And that it makes everybody sad and it's a black pill or whatever. But no, dude, like
it's not really.
It's not okay. When I say criminal organization, I mean it's an organization that does things that if you did them, you would be put in prison for.
Yeah.
Okay, you call those crimes. They're organized to do those crimes, and then they set up a complete system of laws that protects them and implicates you. Like
it's only the black pill if you don't want to know how reality actually functions.
Yeah, and it's not a black pill because, like, at a certain point, you have to accept that this is the paradigm that you live in. And okay, fine. And so then it comes to, well, it's just like people think that like accepting it means that you're okay with it or that you're responsible. No, you're still responsible for your very narrow path that you have to walk. It's very narrow. And honestly, the more time you spend worrying about what they're up to, the more likely it is you're going to wander off into one of their many, many traps. Next thing you know, you're in a casino, dude. Like,
or fucking disarming bombs in the helmet.
Or some hooker's room.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
His enormous wealth, leverage, and influence Costa convinced three very unlikely parties to co-finance, support an armed invasion of the island nation: the CIA, Mobil Oil, and the Vatican. Mobil Oil would in turn get an exclusive on the oil market, while the Vatican was interested in reestablishing the influence of the church. One day I was sitting in the planning meeting.
Perfect. Why? Because that gives us placement access in Haiti for kids, probably.
Yeah, and whatever other demonic stuff they got going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Mobil Oil is going to get all the fucking rights. So yeah, we'll kick in some money.
In Costa's office, when he turned to me and said something to the effect of, "Mr. Peña, you were an army officer, weren't you? You were in intelligence, were you not?" "Yes, I had been," I admitted. "Well, why don't I put you in charge of this project?" Immediately and with all the enthusiasm I could muster, I responded, "Yes, sir, absolutely. I'll be honored to lead this project."
Dude, if a billionaire looks at me and is like, "Yo, bro, you want to flip a fucking
hard to
country?"
turn that down, dude. You're 35-year-old trying to get your bag on. Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
I mean, I've said yes to dumber shit for less money.
Yeah.
Events moved quickly. Through Costa, I met representatives of the co-conspirators, including CEO of Mobil. Costa reassured me, "Mr. Peña, you have my assurance you can trust all these parties except one, the Vatican.
Oh.
Don't trust the Vatican, Mr. Peña."
Okay.
Through the end of 1980 and well into 81, we plunged ahead with meticulous plans, greased by enormous resources. Using French contacts, we recruited and armed an assault force of some 300 mercenaries and assassins. We hired the special talents of the very best freelance demolitions expert and brought in a widely respected mercenary, Colonel Mike Williams, who had served as the last commander of the Rhodesian cavalry.
There we go.
These were men who had lived and fought on civilization's underbelly for so long they seemed to squint in the incandescence of normal society.
Peña's not
They
much for reading.
chatted idly.
No, I mean he's reading his own book.
Yeah,
which is fine. I like hearing people read their own shit because I always when I read something that I know what somebody's voice, like Manly P. Hall.
Yeah.
If I'm reading a Manly P. Hall book, I hear Manly P. Hall in my head. Like
about jobs in Angola or Congo or Bolivian jungle and getting trigger time.
Everything Aaron just said.
Yeah.
In ferocious firefights. Just beyond their quiet talk, you could almost hear the rattle of automatic weapons fire and the smell of sweat of war. They brought to life the cliche, a breed apart. During our spending spree, we also acquired a couple of Army surplus helicopters, gunships,
Nice.
through dubious channels, and the Vietnam-era C-47 Puff the Magic Dragon.
Damn.
Straight up got the spooky, man.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Got an AC-130 gunship on the fucking
Dude.
on the low.
That's crazy.
This unlikely killer, designed for target suppression, was mounted with 3 updated Gatling guns, General Electric 7.62 mini guns, each mounted and firing from the port side. 10 of the 15 of the project's top leadership, myself included, were spirited away by the CIA into Camp Cobra, an anti-terrorist school run by Lieutenant General Mitchell Warbell in Powder Springs, Georgia. Working with the CIA specialists, we practiced hand-to-hand combat and negotiated obstacle courses under live fire. We also became skilled.
Peña and these other fucking clowns are going out on the op.
Yeah.
Well, for what possible reason? I'm a little suspicious. Color me a little bit suspicious. Not that this happened, but that Peña needs to learn how to be a commando. What are we doing? He's taking tactical control of this operation. He might have to put someone in a fucking wrist lock.
I don't know, man. I don't find it far-fetched personally.
I don't know. I just
because I guess if I'm a billionaire, do I want somebody personally there? Is this a test for fucking Peña, man? He's not a bloodline guy. Is this a test to be like, hey man, how far are you willing to go, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And obviously there's no way to maybe there is ways to find out if this is the fucking truth or not. You'd have to do some digging and I do remember looking into some of these people and they are who he says they are.
Yeah.
Is this just him full of bluster trying to?
Yeah, I think in some respects, Dan Peña is a brand. You know what I mean? He sells himself. You know what I mean? And so and this was a clandestine thing. And probably all the principals are no longer around. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to say about it.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Is he sprinkling a little Tim Kennedy on it?
I think so.
Is everything true except for the fact that he's fucking, doing the that stupid thing where he's doing the dirty name, and shit. Well, maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe this is just part of the CIA's jerk off thing where they're like, okay, yeah, let's bring him out to this place, and for the CIA may want to have some measure of control. Let's let them think they're fucking playing spy. That way we can get them all. Who knows?
And I've read books on the Bay of Pigs because I thought the Bay of Pigs was just one beach. I didn't know it was an entire fucking.
It was a whole mess, and they were gonna they were training all those dudes in the South somewhere. Too,
right? So there was. There was regular Cuban businessmen and shit.
That is true. The CIA does do what he's describing for sure.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald was
some fucking
one of their,
Yeah.
So maybe, maybe I'm just, who knows?
To me, that's least important.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Than amongst the rest of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like the CIA, the Vatican, Mobil Oil are like, hey, we're gonna go flip this fucking country.
Well, and this is the kind of shit that like is in the Epstein emails. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, hurry up and get someone over to fucking Syria so we can do, you know. And,
yeah. And
and it's like an email between someone at Sony and you're like, what,
Right.
why the fuck are these people?
And so this is getting towards its end. Then we'll go through the other ones, and,
Yeah.
and I have them in this order to basically build on what it is that we're looking at with this Epstein thing.
Sharpshooters, we went beyond aiming a weapon and learned to fire by instinct. I got to be such a good shot, I could almost toss a dime.
Well, also we've all dealt with we'll call it non-team guys.
Yeah.
Who have like an intel nerd that went with a fucking team on
Oh
a
yeah,
one
dude.
time.
Yeah, now he's Jason Bourne or whatever.
Yeah, went through one shooting package,
like,
and now all of a sudden, fucking like he was the main effort of the entire thing, and he was driving the RG.
Yeah.
Into the air and hit it. The plan was to launch overland from the Dominican Republic with air support.
And how did they get to Venezuela?
Well, dude, and there was a recent, remember a couple years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but there was a whole fucking coup in Haiti recently.
Yeah, those ex Green Beret.
Yeah, Green Beret dudes are involved in all this shit. Yeah.
Ex Green, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
And with the element of total surprise, blow up the presidential palace and Federal Reserve of Haiti, where Duvalier had stashed $200 million.
Why were they not part of the Bank of International Settlements at the time? You got to fuck over their bank.
That's why you got to kill them.
Yeah.
We would liberate the money for our troubles and then install a new president already selected by leaders of the Haitian community in the U.S. You see, we were 15 years ahead of Bill Clinton. Authors know we met in New York with the gentleman that we were going to replace Duvalier with at LaGuardia Airport at the Hilton.
So these are your car's eyes. These are your
but look,
Juan Guido or whatever the fuck. Like these are
and look, these are people that they're talking about markets. Okay, they're talking about they're leveraging everything to invest in extracting oil from this place and selling it to these people or whatever. It's too crucial and critical to leave to chance. Like they're going to control it. They're not going to just be like, oh well, I hope the government of X makes the conditions favorable for us to sell our shit. Or no, they're going to fucking make it so that the conditions of X, they just make it so that this is what power is.
That's how you probably
end up. And they're higher in the fucking hierarchy than government.
Yeah, that's probably how you end up with a Mexican president
who's Jewish.
I didn't say it. He said it.
Shining bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Nose bomb.
Right. Fucking Grablerstein.
Yeah. Many meetings. End of author's note. Although we were only 300 strong, our battle plan called for expending 1 million rounds of ammunition during the first day of assault. Thousands, including the palace guard and most of Haiti's feared Tonton Macoute, would be terminated. It never even occurred to us that we might be killed as well. We were immortal in those days. In fact, I made sure I was slated to be aboard the first chopper to hit the ground in the palace grounds. In the meantime, our designated president-to-be was sitting in New York drawing up a hit list of his enemies. It grew from a dozen to hundreds, and the CIA was getting nervous that our plan was becoming less than a clean surgical strike. During the summer of '81, a climatic meeting was held in Olympic Towers, attended by our CIA contacts, our mercenary commanders, and other key players. Suddenly, the CIA guys announced they were shutting down the operation. Talk about chaos. Mercenaries jumped up, pulled their guns. The CIA guys jumped up and drew their guns.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the veracity of that is, but the last part's coming up. Then we'll ditch this and move to the next one. It's who not to trust amongst all this bullshit of this failed coup that falls apart. The key person is the takeaway of who not to trust.
And my own former FBI bodyguard, Dave Reynolds, shoved me under the conference table. At that moment, Costa strolled in the room, glanced around, and said, "It looks like I got here just in time for the excitement." Once guns were reholstered and I came out of under the table, we accepted the fact that the CIA had pulled out of the deal. Then they added, should our mission fail and we are captured, they would deny all knowledge of us and the project. And oh yes, they were keeping the money. Now we were furious. I told them to get the hell out and that we were going to hit Haiti without them. Weeks later, I was bound from LA to the Dominican Republic with a stopover in Miami International. Every element was in place. I had a message waiting for me in Miami that if we insisted on proceeding with the operation, that every leader would be whacked by the CIA. We would just disappear without a trace. The project was dropped, and my friend and mentor Costa Gratsos passed away peacefully a short time after. It finally emerged that no less than Jimmy Carter's Secretary of State, Cyrus Vance, had squashed the project. Years later, at a wedding of one of our conspirators, I ran into Cyrus Vance in the receiving line. I introduced myself, and he said, "You really screwed me, Cy." The man was taken aback, of course, but said nothing as I continued. "You owe me, Cy. Haiti 81, remember?" He stared back and never said a word. By the way, the Vatican pledged $250,000 to the project, and I learned then and there that when a mega successful mentor warns you that you're about to get screwed, you either heed his advice or bend over. The church never paid a lira, and I realized that the whispered stories of intrigue I'd heard about the church were probably true.
So basically, the takeaway from that was don't trust the fucking Vatican.
I mean, I wouldn't trust any of this. The Vatican just made it so that in Italy only, for some reason, they can have openly gay priests now.
Imagine that. So basically, to me, what that does is it sets the stage. Like, hey, man, like this dude, old Dan's been in the fucking mix for a hot minute, up at that level where you got the luminaries on your fucking phone, you're planning coups, you're doing the shit that Epstein was facilitating. Epstein is like, hey, you want to move money? Talk to this guy. That guy likes hoes. So fucking take some hoes.
Establishing leverage on all of them.
Yeah, and whether or not he was establishing leverage or whether that was just people are just into that shit. Like, oh, hey, I know this fucking weapons dealer, but he likes kids, so make sure you take some kids. Like, it's like it's a thing, right? And so one of the things that the Epstein files is slowly pointing to, and I remember hearing Dan Peña say this shit a long time ago, and I've never bought a single fucking Bitcoin, dude. I've never been into it.
I was for a while. I got out of it.
That rich dude whose ranch we went hunting on, that evening when he and I were fucking drinking and shooting the shit, and I eventually got him fucking upset. I asked him about Bitcoin, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fucking garbage. It's electronic fucking garbage."
Peña's the one. He's the one that's like, "Oh, you got that on here?"
Okay. So here's what comes next. So we've established that Dan is a mover and shaker. Where's that fucking share button at? Here it is. That is the share button. Right?
Yeah.
So we've established that Dan's a mover and shaker into the weird shit.
If you knew who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you fucking could to sell it. I know, 100%. If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know.
Yeah, motherfucker that's planning coups and shit's like, if you knew who had it.
I know, but I wish you would say who. Like, why not say who?
Because
he's scared of, like, if you name them, they'll kill you type
No,
shit?
I don't think that's it. And I think that it will flesh out a little bit as we're going here.
Okay.
We've talked about this before, man, where like, hey, man, if you got a hustle going, I ain't gonna shit on your hustle.
Right.
I ain't shitting on your hustle,
That's
bro.
probably what it is. You once you spill the beans on someone else's hustle, then you're in the game. Like, it's free range on you. Yeah.
I mean, even back to our days in the military, dude. I know if you're saying you're at the medical, but you're at the Purple Church.
Yeah, right. You can't be a rat.
I'm not gonna. And that's
like, probably all it is. Is he's just.
This is not the lapel pin I saw earlier.
But that does look like Knights of Malta.
Yeah, it looks like he's a. I mean,
100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, whoop, like that.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Because,
I mean, it's in free fall right now.
Well, I think the move was to get everybody thinking that it was, some sort of solution, some sort of antidote to fiat currency or whatever. Get the mechanisms, the things all moving, and then so that the new global currency can just take it over.
And
They're gonna take Bitcoin as it exists to zero, and there will be a central bank digital currency that everyone's gonna be forced to use.
And it got people used to using these fucking coins.
Yeah, that's right.
So that any rich dude like the president of the United States can do a pump and dump with a shit coin.
Yep.
You know, and it's just like, and it's even been kind of shown where the Bitcoin fluctuation like tracks a lunar cycle.
Oh, really?
Because we know these fucking creeps are all about.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not creeps. They know how the world works, and we don't. Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking. So yeah, there he is pointing out the Bitcoin fucking shit, and basically, so this is like Dan Peña being correct over and over again, and the next one that he points out is an oldie but a goodie, but it's fucking hilarious, and that's this guy right here.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
This is a fucking
this is a good
fun
one.
Dan, you got the money. Okay.
I got a few, Bob. Yeah.
You got a few, Bob. Yeah.
You support Trump? You do?
Yep.
Okay.
I was one of the first endorsers, public endorsers of President
What are
Trump.
you guys going to do when our ocean level rises?
Dumb bitch.
Thank you for asking that question.
He's like,
I have the answer.
Don't let me finish.
I have the answer.
Let me say the rest of my bullshit.
Thank you for the question. Yeah. Okay.
For the first time on Earth, we're changing the gas.
Now you're full of shit. Sit down.
There's some
I'm gonna
fucking white
answer
lady.
you.
He's about
I'm
to
gonna
hit
answer.
You,
Just shut up and sit down.
No way.
Sit down.
No.
No.
I got to finish my question.
I'm going to answer global warming.
All right,
finish the question,
our
then
gas
answer.
Is changing on Earth, and it's changing to CO2. What do you people
Oh,
with
no.
money, what are you doing about this? Because
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Children. No, I've got
No.
children. I've got 21, 23-year-old children.
Those are adults.
Those
bitch.
are adults, bitch. I've got 21. Dude, her whole mindset is fucking horrific, dude. Oh, I've got 21 and 22-year-old children. Like,
No.
bitch, shut the fuck up. Anyway, let's listen to him.
And what's their future with you people with money? You talk about money.
Why can't you make their future, bitch? Why anyway?
Meanwhile, hey, Australia, you're the most vaxxed people ever. You're
led by devil
the
worshippers.
climate's the least of your
Check
issues.
out Nicole Kidman's father. What happened to him, and why is Nicole Kidman in Eyes Wide Shut with the other occultist, fucking Scientologist Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
All of the time.
Okay. Sit down, please. Sit down, please.
What
In
are
the
you
front
doing
row.
about
Excuse me.
Earth?
In the front row. Please
About
sit down.
Earth?
Okay, you've asked your question. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Your
I'm
answer.
gonna answer.
Excuse me, ma'am. Will you please sit down?
And
Please.
thank you.
That's okay. Please sit down. Let him answer.
Okay. In 2011, my wife and I were in Antarctica, renewing our vows.
What the fuck for? What are you doing, dude?
Bro, he's allowed to go to Antarctica. Dude, because he wanted
In
to go-
2011,
he wants to go across the ice
I was
wall,
in
man.
Antarctica renewing my vows. Just spills it. Like,
There
okay.
ain't nobody else. You'll get turned around by a military boat.
All
But
right.
anyway,
Okay. All right. Next.
For most of you that don't know, Antarctica's on a mountaintop. Okay.
it is
The
the
top of the ice wall.
It is the highest elevation on the fucking earth. Like apparently,
And there is a $500 million facility.
is that at Rothschild's
Is it-
Deception
yeah,
Cove
yeah,
or the
yeah.
Rockefeller Point or fucking?
It's the
Scientific facility there, and the scientists came to give us presentations about global warming. And they had cores of ice that they had drilled. They had drilled 4,000 or 5,000 cores, and they only brought 15 or 20. So they're going through the second or third core, and they said 275,000 years ago, this was the temperature, blah, 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 blah. And then 55,000 years ago, the world was 2 degrees warmer Celsius than it is today. This is 2011. And stop. And he said, and I said, well, you mean the whole world? He says, yes. And the polls are only benchmarks. And I said, well, what about the things that the young woman alluded to? Okay. And he said, it's all cyclical. And although the gas may have exacerbated it, in the cosmos of time, it's not a fart in the wind. In the cosmos of time, of the 13.8 billion years that we've been on this miserable planet, it's not a fart in the wind. And as I told Joe Rogan on his show, and he said in his infinite wisdom, and Joe, if you hear this, I thank you for the opportunity of being on your show. He said, then in 25,000 years, it's most likely not going to be a problem. Now, my direct answer to your question, if that were really true, which you believe, and let's just for a moment say that it is true. That means that the best scenario vis-a-vis global warming is about 10 feet raise in water. That's the best scenario over the next 40, 50 years. That's the best scenario. The worst scenario is about 100 feet. But let's just take the 10 feet. If the water on the planet is going to rise up 10 feet, that means the southern part of the United States is gone. England is gone. Most of Europe is gone. And I can go, most of Central America is gone. Okay. If that's the case, let's just take Florida, for example, which is one of the fastest growing beachfront condominiums on the planet. In the prospectus, when you invest, there should be, in the footnotes, if global warming is for real, they won't put it that way, global warming happens and water rises 10 feet, this investment you made is fuck all. Not one single investment prospectus written since 2000, this century, has alluded to global warming.
Yeah.
Not one motherfucker.
Yeah.
If it were really true, the banks wouldn't invest. The banks wouldn't finance.
Yeah.
Not one motherfucking condominium. So the people that have the money, and I'm jealous of the vice president, Gore, which Sally and I rode on a plane from South America with a few years ago. I am jealous he came up with a scam before I did.
Yeah.
Because the financial institutions, the banks of this world know it's not going to happen. Otherwise, you couldn't get a goddamn loan in London.
You couldn't get a loan where?
Yeah, well,
London.
Yeah.
Where the rich people.
Where the money is.
Yeah, where the money is. They don't go to fucking Wells Fargo, bro.
No, because that's in the country where the military is.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's just, that's just somebody from the actual reality, the actual mechanisms of reality, yelling and screaming at somebody who is only engaging with the narrative. That lady in the audience,
she doesn't know about that footnote shit in the investment thing. Like,
she doesn't know about anything. She's been traumatized and manipulated into believing these. She really believes those things. She's really scared, really freaked out
for her adult children.
Yeah, but she's not engaging with reality. She's just engaging with that story.
Yeah.
And in order for them to sell that story, so it's like, the shit we talk about all the time, but like, in order to get somebody to buy that story, you have to condition them to accept that there's an orthodoxy of thought, and that's the scientific community, the government, whatever the institutions, that's who's responsible for putting out that orthodoxy, and you're just expected to buy into it. And if you don't, it's because you're a right wing or a conspiracy. You're the bad man. So this is and women are very susceptible to that, obviously, And that's because they've done such a good job of destroying the family. And it's like, dude, in a paradigm that I would prefer, lady, why are you out? Where's your husband? Why are you talking to that guy about money and climate and shit? Like, Don't sit down. Let's stop. Where are our kids right now? What's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
I needed
these fucking
turkey pot pies. Stat. Don't talk to Dan Peña.
Well,
why are you yelling at Dan Peña, lady? Sit down.
Breathlessly and obviously.
Yeah, dude. No wife of mine will be yelling at Dan Peña in a fucking auditorium. But that's also why I probably.
Well, and one more thing before I move on to this last one is it goes back to what we were just talking about. Hey, man, don't shit on the other guy's scam. He's like, yeah, I wish I would have thought of it first.
Yeah.
This fucking George.
Yeah, Peña's not telling you that this is why he's pretty credible, because he's not sitting there telling you that he's virtuous and moral.
Right.
He's telling you that the world's run by rich criminals and he's one.
Yeah.
And he's just telling you, hey, dumbass, why would they? I think there's another version of this where he says that the Obamas, or is that just commonly referenced? So the Obamas bought a $11 million house in Martha's Vineyard that would be
underwater,
useless if it was, if the sea level change was true or whatever.
Well, I think that's just common to people that are into this type of shit. But so going back to that lady, here's the hope that we don't have to deal with that lady anymore. And this is the fucking final, the final one that I saved for last here.
So why do you think the world's going to be over soon?
Well, as Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. And they really don't give a how we get 3 billion. If we have 3 billion less people, we don't have all these crises that we have right now.
That's where I go back to just enjoy your day because you can't do shit about it.
First of all, fuck this guy. That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, that's
Like-
the what do they call that? Where they like hypnotize you into taking no action. It's like a something.
It's like the trust the plan psyop.
It's something like that.
Or or the problem is so big.
Yeah, there's a name for it, but the trust the plan thing is one of them.
Yeah. And
Whatever,
first of
but
all, it's like, hey, dude, you're a grown ass man with that amount of fucking hair gel in. I know you ain't gonna do shit. Player.
This is like one of those Bitcoin millionaire guys.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, hey, I lived my whole adult life with people whose job it was to kill other people. Player, like we wouldn't even have you in the fucking room.
Yeah,
like this plan isn't too big. It's just fucking anyway. I'll get off my high horse so we can hear the rest of this.
When there's global elite that have billions and billions and billions that they can buy off governors and judges and presidents, like there's people in control of this world.
Everybody he said has a fucking pulse and an address for the record.
And I'm not in it. And again, unless you know those people and you're one of those.
And I do.
Well, then you might be in it. But I've never been to a meeting where they're like, all right, we're going to off a third of the population so we have air in 100 years.
They don't talk like that. They everything's theoretical, and they put up their PowerPoint presentation and some little skinny, or 2 or 3 little skinny from Stanford, Caltech, and MIT and Oxford. This is what could happen if this happened and this happened. And somebody in the back of the room will raise their hand. And what are the probabilities of all these things happening at once? Not self-induced. In other words, not caused. They say 0%. And what has helped along a little? They put it nicer than that. Oh, we can make it happen 1 out of 3 times. Everybody kind of chuckles, but I'd rather be part of that group. That's why I call everybody a meathead.
Yeah, the problem with finding all those people and killing them,
what
is you have to replace them. Like the people they've structured the entire basically global economy in such a way that like you would have to replace these people and these systems. Otherwise, you immediately reset us all to like a pre-agrarian hunter-gatherer. I mean,
so the flip side is what you can do is you can identify these people, right? It's not hard, and you can identify the scam.
Yeah,
and you can just say no.
Yeah, exactly,
and do something else.
That's right. Yeah, you don't kill the people. You just you just figure out, you just see what's going on and you do other shit instead.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't believe in global warming, so no, I'm not going to buy your electric car. Thanks,
dude. And you know, it's just me because I'm like selfish or whatever. But I'm like, man, it's entirely possible that like the 2 realities could run concurrently, you know, to some degree.
Well,
or you could parasitically exist on this demon system that they made, because this is like kind of difficult to. It's pretty pervasive, their whole fucking situation.
It's,
dude, if people are interested in this shit, there's this guy Paul Kingsnorth. I'm reading his book right now called Escaping the Machine. But he's like, there's another guy named Wendell Berry. He's like a famous American essayist that writes about the same kind of stuff. And it's kind of like a less extreme Ted Kaczynski. Speaking of Ted Kaczynski and the Epstein files, guess what? One of the people who Ted Kaczynski sent a mail bomb to is a software, like leading software guy for, you know, computer science guy, Jewish computer science guy. And to Kaczynski blew off.
Vis-a-vis nothing.
Kaczynski, one of his mail bombs.
Apropos nothing.
One of Kaczynski's mail bombs blew off like several of this dude's fingers.
Left his egg-shaped ween intact.
Yeah. Yale computer science professor David Galanter. In the Epstein files, there's tons of messages. The guy's are a sex pest. So in my mind, I'm like vindicated again because I love Ted Kaczynski. That's Uncle Ted, and Uncle Ted mail bombed a pervert from the Epstein. It's fucking great. You know what I mean?
Man.
But anyways, we were saying about something.
The other thing I like about the way he said that, well, 2 things, is he said, like, no, they first of all, they don't sit in a room and say, let's whack a fucking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. Because that's stupid. Right. Like what they do is they set they talk about condition setting, and then they talk about how those conditions could possibly be met. And then the people in the room who are the fucking Renfields,
yeah,
who are beholden to that money, they just listen.
That's it.
And then they go off
100%. And do likewise.
And do things.
That's right. They serve their master in that way. Yeah, I 100% agree.
And the master sees that they've been good and money flows towards that location. You know,
it's not necessarily explicit. Like,
right.
Okay, in this phase, we're going to kill this many people.
No, it's
but these people have a worldview, and so they just do stuff in service of their worldview.
Yeah. And then the next thing he said that I like about that is like, well, hey man, I'd rather be in that fucking room than with these people in Walmart, dude. And every time I go out in town nowadays, I'm like,
yes.
I mean, would it be bad if 3 billion of these fucking people died?
Dude, the more like I'm all, it's a bad question to ask me because I'm already like, I'm already on this thing where I'm like, the only thing that really matters is what you do.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not going to kill him.
Yeah. I just see the whole thing as this like personal, like a fucking adventure kind of. And so I'm like, all right, you know, things in the game are getting weird. And so at every step, it's just kind of like, it's just like, you know, okay, drink the magic potion. Don't drink the magic potion. Turn to page 36, you know, like choose your own adventure book. So it's like, I'm not that super concerned about what other people do or don't do, because I think this is going whichever way it's going, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I guess that's like a cop out but again, like I'm kind of like, and this is just a shameful thing to admit. I'm like, dude, I don't have the fucking wherewithal to be like starting a revolution. But if one sprung up, could talk me into it. You know what I mean? If they're like, hey, 6,000 of us are going to pull all these psychos out of their offices and slit their throats, I'll be like, you got how many?
I'm offering a slower revolution that nobody will ever say yes to.
Oh, yeah.
And the slower revolution is, hey, man, you move away from the beast.
Yeah.
You reclaim your sovereignty on your food, your water.
That's it.
And your fucking security. Like, and nobody wants that.
I wouldn't say nobody. I wouldn't say nobody. I wouldn't say nobody. I think people. I see evidence that there's people that are interested in that shit. You know, well, I mean,
that's
people
at
are doing
least the group of people that will survive the initial cull.
Yeah.
Now, what happens afterwards
is another whole fucking problem.
Is we may be out here in fucking Hunger Games land.
See, and like the problem is because everything gets, you know, because everything is this, you know, we're sifted into these teams and in these dialectics and shit. So, you know, that's why they put out like that. It's not incidental that there's a thing called preppers and they're seen as being crazy and shit.
Weirdos
and it's like,
losers.
it should be obvious to everybody that. So it's like, hey, we're on this allegedly, like we're on this spinning fucking ball of like rock, fire, and oxygen that's like corkscrewing through space, right? Maybe we should put some shit away in case it doesn't continue to work like the way it's always worked, or in case you know what I mean. There's
the world's famous Freemason Randall Carlson tells us how we're going to get smacked by a fucking comet any day now.
When it's funny, it's like the most reasonable, responsible thing you could probably do is stuff like have a couple months worth of food and water put away, learn how to grow food, take care, you know, that's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
It's stupid and unreasonable not to have any of those skills or resources, but it's exactly flipped. It's like you're seen as being outside of the norm if you're interested in that shit.
Yeah.
No, just go live in a condo, you know, by the ocean with a million other people, you know, in a square mile of you. That seems smart.
Yeah, with one Trader Joe's.
Yeah. How long can you last in a grid down situation? Well, I have 2 boxes of Triscuits, 1 box of chicken and biscuit. I've got half a rotisserie chicken and Gatorade. I'm good. I'm good for 9 minutes.
Yeah, because all that. Well, at least the rotisserie chicken you got to eat immediately.
Yeah, you got to eat them pretty quick.
Yeah, those Triscuits will last a little while. You
Dude,
can march on them.
I heard you should eat those things. Like they're gross. Like those things are all like those kind of like mini chickens that they like they stick these like whatever they stick into to like plump them.
Oh, the water and
yeah, like filler.
It's like water and nitrates and shit.
Yeah. But like the Costco rotisserie chickens that everybody loves are like demon chickens.
Dude. All right. I think that's a good hour right there, man. I'm going to stick some Dogs of War footage in amongst that Dan Peña thing.
Yeah, dude, people get into late 70s to late 80s mercenary Africa vibe stuff.
Yeah, and just realize that the dude that was right about everything else just fucking told you that there was a group meeting on whacking half the fucking population.
Dude, and just since I'm on the topic, if there's any music nerds, go listen to Rollin' the Headless Thompson Gunner by Warren Zevon, which is a whole ass song about a guy named Roland, who was a mercenary from, you know, the land of the midnight sun, which is what, Norway or something. Anyways, I'm just going over the lyrics in my head, but they make a deal in Denmark, and he goes down to the Congo with some other, you know, European men to fight in the Congo wars. And he's the best Thompson gunner there ever was. So of course the CIA wants him dead. So the CIA has one of his homies blow his head off, and now he becomes Roland the Headless Thompson gunner, and he's still to this day out in Africa just shooting people with his Thompson. This is a Warren Zevon song. It's amazing. And then the other Warren Zevon mercenary song is called Jungle Work, which is another song just about mercenaries.
All right,
you fucking shit, dude. They're so good, dude. Like my boys love them. Like when Jungle Work comes on, we all go fucking crazy.
I'll put it. I wonder if it's copyrighted.
Oh, it is, but I don't think it matters on ours. Like no one's been paying attention.
Or I bet you I can get like an AI dub of it or some shit. Like if
yeah, you could go on license. You could do like search for like license free version of.
Yeah, maybe there's a Robert Sepper shit. Like maybe there's a mandolin cover.
No, but you can play like less than 30 seconds of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, without it doing anything. Like as an outro and shit. I'm pretty sure. War mode dudes do all the time. They always put copyrighted music at the beginning and end of their on their Patreon. It always starts with and ends with a song. So.
Shout out to War Mode.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, time to pitch.
Yeah.
Take it easy out there. Stay low.
Yeah. Keep your powder dry.
Roland was a warrior from the land of the midnight sun, with a Thompson gun for hire, fighting to be done. The deal was made in Denmark on a dark and stormy day, so he set out for Biafra to join the bloody fray. Through 66 and 7 they fought the Congo War, with their fingers on their triggers, knee deep in gore. For days and nights they battled the Bantu to their knees. They killed to earn their living and to help out the Congolese. Roland the Thompson gunner, Roland the Thompson gunner. His comrades fought beside him, Van Owen and the rest. But of all the Thompson gunners, Roland was the best. So the CIA decided they wanted Roland dead. That son of a bitch Van Owen blew off Roland's head. Roland the Headless Thompson gunner, Norway's bravest sons of the score. They can still see his headless body stalking through the night in the muzzle flash of Roland's Thompson gun. In the muzzle flash of Roland's Thompson gun. Roland searched the continent for the man who done him in. He found him in Mombasa in a ballroom drinking gin. Roland aimed his Thompson gun, he didn't say a word, but he blew Van Owen's body from there to Johannesburg. Roland the Headless Thompson gunner, Roland the Headless Thompson gunner, Roland the Headless Thompson gunner. Talking about the man, Roland the Headless Thompson gunner. The eternal Thompson gunner, still wandering through the night. Now it's 10 years later, but it still keeps up the fight. In Ireland, in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Berkeley,